Hi students, welcome to Karthik Chemistry channel. Now I am going to explain you types of corrosion. Types of corrosion. We have different types of corrosion. So galvanic corrosion, differential aeration corrosion, pitting corrosion, stress corrosion, waterline corrosion, and etc. These are the different types of corrosions. Okay. So the first one is galvanic corrosion. What is galvanic corrosion? Okay, so you all know that galvanic cell. Okay, galvanic cell or electrochemical cell. So galvanic cell means combination of two different metals. Okay, one acts as anode and another one acts as cathode. Okay, so here also galvanic corrosion means, so it is a combination. When we can explain galvanic corrosion, so when two different metals come in contact with each other, then one acts as anode and another one acts as cathode. Basing on the electrochemical series, the most active metal, so the active metal on two different metals acts as anode and the less reactive metal acts as cathode. Okay, basing on the electrochemical series or galvanic series, the active metal, the most active metal acts as anode and the less active metal acts as cathode. Okay, when two different metals come in contact with each other, then one acts as anode and another one acts as cathode, basing on the reactivity. So here galvanic corrosion means it is also called bimetallic corrosion, because of two different metals, two or more metals are come in contact with each other. So these are, it is also called bimetallic corrosion or differential metal corrosion. Okay, bimetallic corrosion or differential metal corrosion. Okay, so galvanic corrosion is also known as differential metal corrosion or bimetallic corrosion. So when we say galvanic corrosion, this takes place when two different metals are jointly in contact in the presence of corrosive environment. When two different metals are jointly in contact in the presence of corrosive environment. Okay, so let us consider a zinc copper couple. See students, here zinc copper couple. Okay, so in zinc copper couple, when you see electrochemical series, zinc is in top of the series and copper is in the bottom of the series. Okay, so always according to electrochemical series, the top metal acts as anode and the bottom metal acts as cathode. So anode is indicated with negative sign and cathode is indicated with positive sign. Okay, so it is anode, zinc anode, and copper is cathode. Zinc acts as anode and copper acts as cathode. Okay, it acts as cathode. Okay students, so and then what happens? So anode, where oxidation takes place. Okay, so if you take zinc Zn gives rise to Zn2 plus 2 electrons. So always the electron transfer takes place from anode to cathode. So the electron transfer takes place, the charge transfer takes place from anodic metal to cathodic metal. Okay, so because of because of zinc undergo oxidation, the zinc metal corrodes first. Okay, corrosion here. So when zinc undergo oxidation, that means zinc undergo corrosion, it liberates some electrons. These electrons move from anodic metal to cathodic metal. Then cathodic metal protects from the corrosion. Okay, here copper acts as cathode, so copper is in safe zone and zinc undergo corrosion. Okay, zinc corrodes first and copper protects from the corrosion because copper acts as cathode here. Okay, because of copper in contact with most active metal zinc, it acts as cathode and zinc acts as anode. So zinc corrodes and then copper protects from the corrosion. Okay, so see here, the metal which has higher oxidation potential will act as anode and undergoes corrosion. Here zinc has higher oxidation potential comparing with copper, so it acts as anode and undergoes corrosion. Okay, for example, zinc and copper constitute a galvanic couple. So zinc behaves as anode and undergoes corrosion, where copper behaves as cathode and get protected from the corrosion. Okay, so it is galvanic corrosion. So what is galvanic corrosion, students? Simply, galvanic corrosion means when two metals in contact with each other. So among these two, the metal which is top in the series acts as anode and the metal which is bottom in the series acts as cathode. Okay, for example, here I have taken zinc copper couple. So zinc is in top of the series, copper is in bottom of the series. So zinc is the most active metal and copper is the less active metal. So zinc acts as anode and copper acts as cathode. So zinc undergo oxidation, copper undergo reduction. So zinc gets damaged and copper gets protected from the corrosion. So it is galvanic corrosion. And then differential aeration corrosion. Differential aeration corrosion. What is the name itself says that there is a difference in the aeration. Okay, so difference in the aeration. Aeration means air supply. Okay, so see here, see the diagram here. When zinc rod is dipped in, okay, see students, so here zinc rod is dipped in electrolyte solution of NaCl. Okay, so zinc rod is dipped in electrolyte solution of NaCl. So then what we observe here, this part is the more oxygenated part or this part is the more aerated part. Okay, it is the more aerated part. Okay, so what we observe, students, this part is the, that means the electrode which is dipped in NaCl solution, it is the less aerated part. See students, in differential aeration corrosion, always the less aerated part, it is the less aerated part, students. It is dipped in, this part is dipped in electrolyte solution. Okay, that is why it is the less aerated part. Okay, so always the less aerated part acts as anode. Okay, always the less aerated part acts as anode and this part is the more aerated part. See students, this part is the more aerated part, so it acts as cathodic area. That is why it acts as cathode. Okay, so the less aerated part undergo oxidation and more aerated part undergo reduction. Okay, so you should remember these points in differential aeration corrosion. In differential aeration corrosion, the less aerated part acts as anode and the less aerated part acts as anode and more aerated part acts as cathode. Okay, so always, so what is the principle? What is the principle here? Anodic part gets damaged and cathodic part, the part which acts as cathode gets protected from the corrosion and the part which acts as anode undergo corrosion. Okay, so it damages first. Okay, so it is protected from the corrosion. Okay, the less aerated part acts as anode, that is why that undergo corrosion, and more aerated part, okay, or more oxygenated part acts as cathode, that protects from the corrosion. Okay, so then look here, this differential aeration corrosion is also known as concentration cell corrosion. Okay, so it is also known as concentration cell corrosion. This occurs when a metallic surface is partially immersed in electrolyte and partially exposed to air. Okay, it is the partially immersed part in electrolyte, it is the partially exposed part in air. Poorly oxygenated metallic part becomes anodic. It is the poorly oxygenated part, so that is why it becomes anodic and undergoes oxidation. So it undergoes oxidation. Well oxygenated part becomes cathodic. It is the well oxygenated part, so it becomes cathodic. Okay, so what are the chemical reactions here? What are the reactions occur at anode and what are the reaction occur at cathode? Okay, so zinc, because zinc always undergo oxidation, so always the reaction at zinc is Zn gives rise to Zn2 plus 2 electrons. Okay, so here the liberated electrons reduce oxygen, so half O2 plus H2O plus 2 electrons gives rise to 2 OH minus. Okay, so in moist air or in the presence of water, so the reaction is, the corrosion reaction is half O2 plus H2O plus 2 electrons gives rise to 2 OH minus. So Zn2 plus combines with 2 OH minus ions, so that is it forms ZnOH twice, zinc hydroxide, that is the corroded part here. Okay, Zn2 plus ions combines with OH minus ions to give ZnOH twice, which is the corroded product at anode. Okay, so it is differential aeration corrosion. It is the differential aeration corrosion, and these are the reactions when zinc electrode is immersed in electrolyte solution. And then pitting corrosion. Okay, and the next type is pitting corrosion. So next type is pitting corrosion. So what is pitting corrosion? Pit means hole. In general, pitting corrosion is explained when a breakdown of metallics, when a breakdown of protective layer on the metallic surface. Okay, when any breaks or cracks are happen on the protective layer of the metallic surface, then that breakdown part, that pit, okay, or hole. So pit or hole on the surface of the metal is the less oxygenated part, and the remaining part is the more oxygenated part. So the pit acts as anode and the remaining part acts as cathode. Okay, for example, see here students, so it is the metallic surface. Okay, it is the metallic surface coated with a protective layer, that means when a metallic surface is coated with any metallic coating or surface coating. Okay, so it is the metal, let us assume that. So to understand clearly, I am explaining you like that. So it is a metallic surface, so coated with protective layer. Then for example, any pit, okay, any pit or hole is formed on the surface, so it is a pit. If any pit or hole is formed on the surface, then this pit is the less oxygenated part. This pit is the less oxygenated part, and the remaining part is the more oxygenated part. Okay students, it is the less oxygenated part, and it is this surface is the more oxygenated part. So this pit or hole, the less oxygenated part acts as anode and the remaining part acts as cathode. Okay, so that is pitting corrosion. So what is pitting corrosion? Pitting corrosion is a localized form of corrosion. It is a localized form of corrosion that occurs due to breakdown of a protective layer on the metal surface. Due to breakdown of a protective layer on the metal surface. Formation of pit or hole is the less oxygenated region that becomes anodic area where the corrosion starts and extends. Okay, the pit or hole is the less oxygenated part that acts as anode and the remaining part is the more aerated part that acts as cathode. So the pit become as a anodic region, so where the corrosion starts and extends, that is pitting corrosion. Okay, then stress corrosion. Stress corrosion. So what is stress corrosion? Stress corrosion is mainly observed in fabricated articles. Okay, fabricated articles, fabrication. So fabrication means shaping of an article by the application of heat and pressure. Okay, so in fabricated articles which are subjected to various mechanical operations like bending, hammering, etc., that means so they undergo some stress. Okay, areas under stress acts as anode. For example, it is the so it is a fabricated article in which this part is the more strained part, more stressed part. Okay, so if you take this type of fabricated article, so this part is the more stressed part, okay. So always the stressed part acts as anode and unstressed part acts as cathode. So the stressed part undergo corrosion first. Okay, so the stressed part damages and the remaining part protected from the corrosion, because the more strained part acts as anode and the remaining unstressed part acts as cathode. That is why if you observe water taps, iron water taps, okay, so you can observe where we can observe corrosion on this stressed part. Okay, so we cannot observe corrosion on this plain surface. Always we observe corroded product on this strained part. Okay, so what is stress corrosion, students? In stress corrosion, the more strained part acts as anode. Okay, so and the remaining part acts as cathode. So it is the strained part, it acts as anode, and then it is the unstrained part, this part acts as cathode. Okay, so areas under stress acts as anode and other areas acts as cathode. So stressed areas which acts as anode undergo corrosion when exposed to corrosive environment. Okay, so some examples are there here. For example, mild steel undergoes stress corrosion with caustic alkalis. Okay, mild steel undergoes corrosion with caustic alkalis, while brass corroded by traces of ammonia. Okay, brass undergo corrosion by traces of ammonia, and stainless steel undergo corrosion by chloride solutions. Okay, so mild steel that undergo stress corrosion in the presence of only caustic alkalis, whereas brass undergo corrosion with traces of ammonia, and stainless steel is corroded by chloride solutions. Okay, so and then waterline corrosion. Okay, so waterline corrosion means it has been observed the when rusting of an iron takes place along the line just beneath the water level in it. Okay, so see students, so if you see iron water tanks, okay, so up to this level you take water, it is an iron water. If you take iron water tank, okay, so where rusting can be observed just beneath the level, just beneath the water level, just it is just beneath the water level in it, it is just beneath the water level in it. So you can observe rust in this part only. Okay, this part you can observe rust. So the just beneath the water level undergo corrodes first. Okay, that is waterline corrosion. So see here, waterline corrosion is also due to differential aeration. Okay, differential, it works on the principle of differential aeration corrosion. The area above, so it is differential aeration corrosion. What is differential aeration corrosion? More oxygenated part and less oxygenated part. So more oxygenated part acts as cathode. This part is the more oxygenated part. It is the more oxygenated part. This part is the less oxygenated part. Okay, so according to differential aeration corrosion, always the less aerated part acts as anode and more aerated part acts as cathode. So here the water which is just beneath the level in it, so that undergo corrosion first. Okay, so it is waterline corrosion. The area above the waterline is well oxygenated and acts as cathode, where the area below the waterline is less oxygenated and acts as anode, hence it is corroded. Okay, so it is waterline corrosion. Waterline corrosion. See students, waterline corrosion. It has been observed that rusting of an iron tank takes place along the line just beneath the water level in it. Waterline corrosion is also due to differential aeration. The area above the waterline is well oxygenated and acts as cathode, and the area below the waterline is less oxygenated and acts as anode. Okay, the area above the waterline is well oxygenated and acts as cathode, and area below the waterline is less oxygenated and acts as anode, hence it is corroded. So these are the different types of corrosions. Okay, students, galvanic corrosion, differential aeration corrosion, pitting corrosion, stress corrosion, and waterline corrosion. Okay, galvanic corrosion, differential aeration corrosion, pitting corrosion, stress corrosion, waterline corrosion. Thank you students. Thank you for watching. Thank you.